Welcome to this episode of the AI Show. How's it going? Your friendly host here, Seth. Tell us where you're coming from. Side of the aisle. Side of the eye here. Side of the eye on the chat. Take a look at where you're coming from. Tell us who you are and where you're coming from. We'll give you a little shout out. Fine Monday morning. We're in the midst of summer. Can you believe it's already almost July? What? Almost July. How exciting is that? We got a good show for you today. We got two short segments, and then in the middle, I'm going to show you some stuff that I've been working on to get your thoughts on it and how maybe we might use this stuff. So tell us where it's coming from. Side of the aisle. Side of the eye. Put that in there. By the way, if you don't know, I have it's like a 30-second delay. So that's why I'm like side of the eye. Side of the eye here. No, not that. Okay. All right. So it looks like we've got our friend here, Shahjahan Ahmed from London. Dallas, Texas. Welcome. Sam. From the gym. I went to the gym today. Well, not really. I ride my bike every morning. Well, every morning. Yes, we should all take ¿cómo se dice en inglés? Aliento. I don't know why I'm speaking Spanish so much today. We should all take, what's the word in English? Encouragement from Tatiana and go to the gym. Greetings from Jakarta. Hello, my friend. I was just in Jakarta. I think we met, actually. Maybe we met. I don't know. Did we meet? I was in Indonesia, a beautiful country. I wish I could have stayed there longer than like a day. It was insane that I was gone. Andy, dude, vacation. You should, Andy and I work on stuff together. You should vacation better. You know what I'm saying? Houston, Texas. Akinkunmi. Good to have you here, my friend. Chennai, India. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Paulo Cesar Ramirez Silva. Mexico. My mom was born in Mexico, actually. I lived there for a little bit. Someone is here from Breath. Javier. Welcome. Okay. We met. Oh, yes. See? I knew it. So, Rizda Yanti, important question. Live versus on the telly, which do you prefer? I mean, just out of curiosity. Live versus on the telly. Well, this isn't television. It's like internet television. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the same thing. Kind of the same thing. All right, what are we doing today? Let me share my screen here. Window. Here we go. Sharing. Let's get my pen here. Oh shoot! Do I remember? Oh yes. Yes. Number one. Numero uno. What's new in Azure AI Foundry? With my friend, we'll do this in a different color. John Maeda. By the way, he also has a show called the Cozy AI Kitchen. You should take a look at it. You know, I think the more content, the better. The more content. Oh, look at that. There we go. Number 2, we have AI Centers of Excellence. AI Centers of Excellence with my friend Cyril. I'm pretty excited about those ones. The What's New in Azure AI Foundry is a good one. We try to bring you monthly updates. We're gonna do better though. We're gonna do better bringing you more updates with more folks that work. Because I work, if you don't know, I work on the Azure AI Foundry team. It's my job. So I'll try to bring you more updates on that with the people that work on this stuff. Because I think, you know, we kind of want to get the actual stuff. And then we have extra time, right? Because this was not going to take as long as we want. I thought we would do the following. Tell me what you think. Why is this? I don't need all these extra helps. I've used this before. I want your thoughts here. So as I put this out, just get your thoughts ready. Ready, Freddy. I thought we would take a look as at number 3, star. Bonus. We'll look at GPT image 1 and plus a little bit of Sora for our generative AI stuff. But we're going to look at it from the code, el código. Let's see. Do I have sound effects? Let's see. We'll look at it in code. That was not what I thought it would be. Light robot. Let's try that. I don't know if I like these. I got to test these out. So this is show for today. We're going to be doing What's New in Azure AI Foundry. Got it. Thank you. What's New in Azure AI Foundry with John Maeda. So all of this stuff right here. AI Centers of Excellence with Cyril. And then we'll since we'll have some time in between. So this will do the top of the hour here. Top of the hour, we'll do this one right here. Then we'll get into some GPT image 1, play around with it a little bit, and then give you a sense for what it's doing and how it works. And then that'll be interrupted for a second by top of the hour. We'll do Centers of Excellence, and then we'll continue this. So this will be in between. So let's get this show on the road. Let me stop sharing here. Stop screen sharing, and let's get you going with What's New in Azure AI Foundry with my friend John Maeda, starting right now. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the AI Show. We talk all about what's new in Azure AI Foundry, June 2025 edition. My friend John Maeda, make sure you tune in. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the AI Show. We're talking all about what's new in Azure AI Foundry, June 2025 edition. By the way, this is the AI Show, your monthly pit stop for everything new in the world of Azure AI Foundry. I'm Seth, your host, bringing you the latest model drop, tooling updates, and spicy new features that will make you want to cancel your weekend plans and code. I am a weekend coder, John. Are you a weekend coder?
I am always coding with AI, of course.
Oh, there you go. By the way, we're calling this month all gas, no brakes, because, well, that's what it feels like trying to keep up from new multimodal powerhouses to safety leaderboards and agent protocol updates. The June drop is actually big. To help me break it all down, I brought someone who has actually read every blog post. The always insightful, never hallucinating John Maeda. How you doing, John?
Seth, thanks for having me here. I have definitely been reading the blogs twice, 3 times with my summarizing AI. So hashtag responsible reading.
There you go. All right, well, let's start with the model catalog because, John, it's thick. There's so many models in there. We're talking new drops from OpenAI, XAI, Meta, DeepSeek, Black Forest Labs. Basically, if you blinked in June, you missed like 12 models. Let's start with Codex Mini. What's the pitch for developers?
Well, Codex Mini is your new best friend in the terminal.
Oh.
It's a fine-tuned version of O4 Mini, optimized for CLI workflows. Think automating shell commands, editing scripts, refactoring code, It's fast, it's precise, and it doesn't complain when you forget a semicolon.
Oh, it complains to me all the time about semicolons. I love that. Next up, O3 Pro. Tell us about this one.
O3 Pro is for when you need enterprise-grade reasoning and multimodal support. It accepts both text and images, generates structured outputs. We love the structured outputs.
Yeah, it's true.
And plays nicely with tools like file search. You could think of it as the I need a model that actually thinks with me, for me model.
Oh, that's cool. Also, fun fact, it probably uses more compute, which means more depth. But don't worry, we've got a new provision throughput update in AOAI that helps you manage performance and cost at scale. Is that right, John?
Flexible pricing, built-in cost controls, and resource isolation options make it a lot easier to build responsibly.
All right, lightning round. DeepSeek R1 0521 plus MAI DSR1. Better COT strategies, safety tuning, faster inference. MetaLlama 4 plus Llama 3.3. Multimodal magic for summarization, assistance, and creative apps. XAI Grok 3, 3 Mini, and Grok 4. Excellent for reasoning, context awareness, even legal and healthcare workflows. And Flux 1.1 Pro by Black Forest Labs, text-to-image generation that's 6 to 8 times faster than the current state-of-the-art with no GPU ops required. I had to take a deep breath after that. Insane.
Honestly, it's like we built a Costco for models. Bulk reasoning, no membership fee.
Oh my goodness, look at us go. Okay, let's talk agents because there were a couple announcements this month that really level up how developers can build complex workflows. What do you got?
Well, the big one is deep research and agent service. It gives developers the ability to compose multi-step, multi-source workflows using tools and agents in Azure AI Foundry. Think web scale analysis with transparent outputs. If you're tired of hallucinations and shallow summaries, this is your upgrade.
Awesome. So also the next big one, MCP, tell us about that.
I love MCP. Model Context Protocol. Think of it like a universal plug for tools and services. With MCP support in Foundry, developers can register any tool, internal or external, and have it work across agents. It's a game changer for modular agent design. In other words, agents can now interact with Azure AI Foundry itself.
So you're saying I can connect my Azure AI Foundry agent to do Azure AI Foundry things like Inception.
I'm saying you probably already did.
Oh, you got me there. All right, so we've got all these models, all these agents, but how do we know they're safe?
Well, that's where the new safety leaderboards come in. We've added a dedicated model safety ranking alongside performance, cost, and throughput. So devs can now choose not just the fastest model, but the safest one for their use cases.
This feels like a long overdue update.
Totally. There's also the new Microsoft Responsible AI Transparency Report, which is basically our blueprint for building AI that earns and keeps trust. Includes things like risk tools for multimodal and agentic systems, centralized deployment reviews, and more.
That's awesome. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. AI is moving fast, but not everyone is moving fast well. Microsoft was just named a leader in the 2025 Gartner Magic Quadrant for DSML platforms. And we've also released new guidance to help organizations operationalize AI efficiently.
Love that MQ, right? Well, the new AI Center of Excellence guidance is part of Azure Essentials, and it's for leaders trying to align people, process, and tech. It's been downloaded thousands of times already, and we're seeing partners like EY and PwC use it to drive real transformation.
Oh, I love the people, process, and tech. You should have said people, process, and product, the 3 Ps. All right, John, we've covered new models, new agent capabilities, safety upgrades, and org-wide AI transformation frameworks. If I wasn't hosting this show, I'd go rewatch it.
Same with me. It's a big month, but it's all about helping devs and decision makers build smarter, faster, and more responsibly.
And to add a new fine point to this, John also has a really cool show.
Cozy
AI Kitchen. Tell us about that.
The Cozy AI Kitchen, I appear as the AI chef. We cook recipes in code to make AI more useful for you, the developer.
Yeah, and you should totally tune into that show. I got to do one of those at a build, and just the way that you put together the analogies really helps people understand stuff.
Thanks a bunch. I'm just
all right.
watching from you.
Huge thanks to you, John, and everyone watching. If something has sparked your interest, head over to ai.azure.com, subscribe to the YouTube playlist, and start building and check out the Azure AI Foundry blog for all of the latest details. Again, thank you so much for watching. We're learning all about what's new in Azure AI Foundry, June 2025 edition with my friend John. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.
How about them apples? Let's see. Let's get some. Let's take a look at the comments here. Question. Oh, we did not forget you, Olga. Munich, Germany. Did we meet in Germany or did we meet somewhere else? Oh, I'm pushing the wrong button here. Good to have you here. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff here. Let's see what the next. Here's another question from Paulo. When will Grok 4 be available in Azure AI Foundry? That I don't know. Soon, I hope, whenever they let us put it in. It's a great question. Here, let me move this over here so I can look in the face here. Looks like we have some good links in there for folks to find out. There's a little blog post here. Let's go to it so you can take a look at it. AI, let's find it. aka.ms. Here, let me share my screen. And let me take this comment off. So let me share my screen and let's take a look at it. Window. What? There it is. Oh, not window. We want the entire screen. There we go. Screen 3. Okay, and so it is actually aka.ms Azure AI Foundry June 2025. Maybe we can get some answers here. Look at this from our friend Nick Brady. Join the new Azure AI Foundry developer forum on GitHub. I should have been like one of those people that does radio stuff, you know? I think I have the face for it. What's that? Here's a Model 03 Pro reasoning, highest performance. Sora video, we'll do this one. Codex Mini. Grok 3 and Grok 3 Mini now GA. So they asking about Grok 4. We just got this one, okay? We just got it. Model Context Protocol. Let me make sure they said this right. Will today bring any remote MC pursuer and Azure ports? I don't know if that's what this does. Let's double check that because I know there was a little confusion. Easily integrate with services and APIs, whether you want to connect here with the internal service or APIs from provider. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't do it. So here is the create agent. Oh, I see. You can connect it. How cool is that? By the way, I'm not I like MCP, but I don't like it either. I don't know. What are your thoughts, chat? MCP. I don't know. I don't want this controversial. We're all friends here. We're betwixt friends, amongst us friends. I'm worried that this is going to be like the JavaScript of the AI generation. No offense to JavaScript. Okay. JavaScript was hastily put together and now runs everything. And I'll tell you what I mean. You know what? Let me be more explicit because this is telling you this without saying, you know, stuff. So here's a okay. So it's actually you can connect to it in code. I don't know if you can do it in the. I wonder if you can do it in the actual. Here's some agents here. Agents. I guess that would be under actions. Yeah, I can't do MCP yet. So we don't need this one. I'll show you why. I think there's other protocols that are better. Just FYI, me opining amongst us friends here. So we're looking at this here. Yeah. Okay. So this Linda's awesome, by the way. We need to have her on. She's really cool. Looks like there is MCP support using code. So by the way, this is how you create an agent in code. Here's a new agent. It has an ID, etc. Whenever you run an agent, you need to create a thread, and then when you add something to that thread, and then you run the agent with that thread. I don't know if I like that. Veronica's saying it's hard to escape. I don't know. I think it's not too late. I think it's not too late to use standards. I don't like it either. Thank you, LinkedIn user. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I feel like this. Let me show you what I mean. Here. Actually, let me fire up a project. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Open recent, this one. Let's run this backend service. Hopefully I don't leak any keys. I would hate that. Ugh. Oh. And by the way, I did promise GPT image 1, but I wanted to take a second. And here's another one, A to A. Thank you. Janice Q number 7, thank you. Our lone pioneer in Twitch. We keep making stuff up like that. I don't know if it's needed, right? So let me go to my API here. I have this tool. So think of this as a. Hold on, my earpiece fell out. Let me fix that real quick. Boom. Think of these as APIs, right? That of things that we can tell an agent to do. And notice that this API is effectively, literally just, is it open? Yeah, it's open. So this is literally like, this is using the image endpoint. So it's kind of related, right? Notice that this is just fast API. Literally just fast API. There's nothing other than fast API in here. And it has a route, and I think it starts with like image or something. And like I can do a post here to create and to whatever, right? So when I load this up, localhost 8000, I think it's like is it tools? Yes, tools, image, docs. So this is done for me. This is done for me because Fast API is awesome. And you might have other tools, right? It basically puts out a Swagger doc or an open API spec. And in this case, notice that I have a /create, and then I have a /edit, but I don't include it in the schema, right? Because this was just for me to make sure that it was working. But there's one endpoint, right? There's basically one endpoint. And notice that the response fields, I'm annotating. And so when you look at this in the API spec, right? You're looking at this, you're like, oh, what does this do? So I'm gonna try it out and be like, a serene landscape with mountains in the background. Let me execute this. This takes about 30 seconds because it's using GPT image 1. But effectively, I've created an endpoint that if you pass in this thing, it will make an image and it will return it. And you can see that like it knows about the response. You can see here, it has an image URL. It has everything described. I'm like, right, everything is described. The request is very well documented, and it's still going. There you go. So here's the image. So if I Control C this, right, and then Control V this, it should work. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, so there it is, right? There's the image it made. That's cool, right? So effectively, I have an API here. I have an API here wherein if you give it a description, it will return an image. And I've exposed it as an API. And now with this open API.json thing, if I click on this and pretty print it, this is a full description of this API. Right? It's not, there's no, it's pretty clear what this thing is doing. On top of that, it uses standard REST protocols. You could put security over this, like OAuth. You could have on behalf of tokens as well. And so now when I go to make an agent, here's a customization agent. In theory, not in theory, you can actually add an open API tool. Just like MCP. The difference is I don't have to rewrite everything. I just use what I have. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. Spitballing. Tussa, spitballing. Why do I need another protocol for this? Just spitballing. This is my opinion. An argument can be made that everyone jumped on the bandwagon of MCP, which means that there is a lot of stuff. I would argue there's a lot more stuff that's just Swagger and Open API. I mean, that's my argument. And notice that like this thing just worked, right? I didn't have to, and to set up my quote special server, I didn't have to do anything special. I just annotated it a little bit more so the API, so that the LLM, when this thing is hooked up to it, has more information. But chat, I'm curious about your thoughts. Curious about your thoughts, chat. Janescu number 7 saying with MCP, there is security. What needed? So, for example, here's an important thing. Imagine that this API or that whatever thing the MCP tool is, someone's trying to talk to me, is connected to, has access to things that are provisioned or conditionally accessible depending on the user. I don't know if MCP handles that. OAuth does. You can have an on behalf of token in OAuth that I pass to the API, and it knows that it's doing stuff on behalf of Seth. I mean, at least I think so. I'm spitballing here, right? So, I mean, just throwing stuff out. But again, chat, keep me honest here. Am I? And by the way, like when I create this stuff, I just annotate the heck out of it so that depending on the implementation of the tool calling inside of the LLM, because of the tool calling loop, hopefully it uses these annotations. But if it doesn't, now we could like I could show you how to use, like how to write your own implementation of the function calling loop that uses all of these things with OAuth, right? Maybe we should do that as an exercise. It's not, the stuff isn't hard. It's just, and and if you've, by the way, if you've seen the show, Amanda, one of my colleagues, she argues with me all the time. It's wonderful. Oh, she's like, well, what about this? And I'm like, oh, there is an argument to be made that there are some boilerplate stuff that we should just have in a framework, but I don't know what that is. And maybe it's because I'm ignorant. Okay. Looks like Paolo. I have a friend here, Paolo, who agrees. But I'm side of the eyeing a little bit more. But I'm curious. Get your thoughts in the chat here. It's a little controversial. Everyone's like MCP, and I'm like, okay. By the way, it's not hard to support MCP. It's not hard. Here's Tatiana. Okay, so Tatiana will keep us on. She went to the gym. she's at the gym, and so she makes better life choices. I think MCP at this point is a shortcut. With time API call integration with AI should improve. MCP might not be needed. Oh. See, Tatiana is here as the voice of reason. Thank you. I don't know whether Tatiana feels like a French name, but Santos feels like, we'll just say it in French. Merci por vos suggestions. And then muchísimas gracias también. Okay. So, all right. So it's the top of the hour. So let's get the next thing queued up, and then we'll come back to GBT image 1, if that's okay. So let me stop sharing here. Stop sharing, and we'll kill the music. So now up, we have AI Centers of Excellence with Cyril. So let's get this going right about now. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the AI Show where we talk all about scale AI transformation with Azure Essentials, AI Center of Excellence guidance, my friend Cyril. Make sure you tune in. Hello, welcome to this episode of the AI Show. We're talking all about scale AI transformation with Azure Essentials, AI Center of Excellence guidance. I'm looking down. It's a good title, my friend Cyril. Welcome to another episode of the AI Show. I'm Seth Juarez, and today we're zooming out from the models and APIs and looking at the bigger picture, how organizations are scaling AI transformation from cool POC to this is how we do business. Today we're talking about something we don't always give enough airtime to, AI Centers of Excellence, not just the tech, but the playbook for how to build sustainable, scalable, and secure AI capabilities across your organization. That's right. We're trading in move fast and break things for move smart. And lead the way here to talk us through this is Cyril Belikoff, Vice President, Solutions and Partner Marketing. How you doing, my friend?
It's great to be here. Great to see you again, and thanks for having me. I'm super excited to talk about how we can help customers scale in this era of AI.
All right, so let's start at the top, the why behind the AI Center of Excellence. We've all seen the hype cycle. Big AI ideas spark interest, maybe a demo or two, and then everything kind of stalls when it's time to scale. What's getting in the way, and how does this new COE guidance help teams get unstuck?
Yeah, that's right. We've seen this over and over and over. Organizations get super excited about AI. They stand up a few pilots, and then look for more thoughtful ways to go beyond experiments to scale their solutions. What's often missing is a structured way to align strategy, talent, tools, governance. That's where the new Azure Essentials AI Center of Excellence guidance comes in. We've created it to help teams build muscle that they need to operationalize AI across business units with consistent tooling, repeatable practices, and responsible guardrails, things that you know well about in the product. It's really about setting up a system that can support innovation at scale and not just spark those ideas. And so we've seen just how hungry customers are for this type of guidance. The AI adoption and architecture work that we did in Azure Essentials have already seen 160,000 plus views, which tell us that there's lots of interest in this type of guidance.
Let's be real. Every developer loves a good hackathon, but enterprise AI isn't a playground. It's a platform. So what does it actually take to stand up an AI COE in a way that's developer friendly and enterprise ready?
Yeah, that's totally right. Standing up a center of excellence means building more than just a team. You're building a framework that empowers developers while meeting the enterprise needs. That's the balance that we've been at for some time already. And that starts with centralizing things like tooling and governance and best practices, but leaving room for decentralized execution and innovation. The most effective centers of excellence, we've seen include roles like strategic sponsors to drive alignment, AI architectures to guide solution design, responsible AI leads to ensure ethical deployment, and developer advocates to support the teams on the ground. And so we also recommend starting with common, patterns like RAG, summarization, or co-pilot experiences, and providing shared code libraries, sandbox environments, and access to curated models, registries to avoid reinventing the wheel. So there's lots and lots of opportunity here. And while this guidance focuses specifically on Azure AI Foundry or pro-code solutions, as you know, these principles can be applied to all types of AI, low code, no code, software as a service, AI experiences. So lots of opportunities here to bring this together for our customers.
So it sounds like building a COE is as much about the people as it is the pipeline. What org structure works best? And how do you actually get cross-functional buy-in without making everyone sit through a 48 slide governance deck?
Well, we all love PowerPoint. PowerPoint is part of our business, but it definitely is about people and structure. The structure of a customer's AI center of excellence can make or break the momentum on AI. And some organizations take a centralized approach with IT or the data team owning the charter. Others take a federated model where each business unit has its own AI leader, and some use a hybrid to connect both those models. What matters most is clear accountability and shared goals. When it comes to buy-in, it's all about outcomes. And so we found that leaders are much more engaged when you connect AI efforts to tangible business impact, like increasing operational efficiency, reducing costs, or improving customer satisfaction. If you can show how the Center of Excellence accelerates those results, you'll have champions across the org without even trying. And so we have partners like Capgemini, NTT Data, Ernst & Young, already putting this guidance into work, helping clients move from siloed POCs to full-scale transformation. For example, EY used our Center of Excellence framework to launch a secure global sandbox and have already tested over 1,000 Gen AI use cases. That kind of momentum wouldn't be possible without the structure of an AI Center of Excellence.
Now, I guess we can't talk about AI without talking about responsible AI as well. What does this guidance recommend for building in trust and compliance from the start?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a video without you calling out responsible AI. So you're absolutely right. It's not optional. It's foundational. And so the Center of Excellence guidance includes detailed checklists to help organizations operationalize responsible AI practices at every stage of deployment. As you know, it's all going to happen in Azure AI Foundry, but you need that set of guidance and best practices that includes risk assessments, human-in-the-loop review processes, clear documentation, and transparency standards. It also connects with the Microsoft broader AI insurance program so teams can stay aligned with most current best practices. One thing we're seeing more and more is a proactive approach to policy. Organizations are putting usage guidance and internal review boards in place to prevent shadow AI from popping up outside of those guardrails. So this isn't just a theory. Our partners are actively using these principles to stand up responsible AI practices themselves in line, and to accompany the product. And so companies like PwC are building intelligent agentic AI systems that prioritize trust and compliance across the enterprise.
Holy cow, I didn't even think of the notion of a shadow AI, which is, holy cow. All right, so let's bring it home for the devs in the room. If I'm a technical team lead trying to actually ship something, how do I work with a COE without being hindered or drowned in a process?
Yeah, that's the thread in the needle, and that's a really, really good question, and one we've heard a lot. The best COEs are designed to empower, not block, development teams. That means providing reusable assets like templates or code samples, setting up pre-approved tools and environments, machine learning models, or LLMs or small language models, and offering guidance on which of those models and approaches to use based on those common problems or opportunities. We always say, give devs the guardrails, not gates. And it's just as important making sure that the feedback loop from the devs back into the COE is happening so that they can learn from that process if things actually do get stuck. And so
I love the idea. I love the idea of the COE being like the bumpers when we're bowling, so we'll always hit the pin in that case.
Yeah. Of course, we have bumpers in the product, but you also need bumpers in sort of the governance and the processes and the approaches within the organization.
This is awesome. So last question, what's the one thing you want every org watching to take away from this?
The main takeaway is this. You don't have to build your AI transformation strategy from scratch. We've created the Azure Essentials AI COE guidance to give you a head start based on lessons from real customers who've already been down this road. already using Azure AI Foundry for multiple years. And so they've had to build these center of excellences. And so we're just getting started, or whether you're just getting started or trying to build out beyond the pilots, the guidance is built based on your peers' best practices, and it'll help turn your AI from the buzzword into company capability.
That's cool. Thanks for joining the TLDR for all our viewers. You've got the tools, you've got the models. Now it's time to build the muscle. An AI Center of Excellence isn't just a buzzword. It's your launch pad for real transformation. Am I right on that?
Yeah, totally right. And thanks a ton for having me. And you also check out the new ebook on the AI Center of Excellence. A great resource.
Yeah, and there's also a skilling plan too. Let me get the link here so folks can take a look at that. All right. So Cyril, thanks so much for spending some time with us, my friend.
Thanks so much. Good to see you again.
Also, make sure to check out the blog and stay tuned next month for more updates, insights, and let's be honest, probably some new models. Until then, go forth, build responsibly, and don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe to the AI Show. Thank you so much for watching. We're learning all about how to scale AI transformation with Azure Essentials, AI Center of Excellence guidance. My friend Cyril, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care. Here we are. There you go. All right. Let's take a look at the questions here. Are Microsoft developers using AI tools like her? Yes, we use AI tools all the time. In fact, I use it all the time. I'll give you an example in a little bit. So just Shajahan, I want to make sure you can see it, that we are using it. Okay. So I've seen centers of excellence in large organizations, and they're actually kind of cool. It's basically because like all organizations, once they get to a certain size, like I feel like process can become calcified, and you need a group that's empowered to chip away at the calcium of a process and to find better approaches. Okay. All right, so I promised we'd talk about GPT image 1. So let's get to that here. So if you haven't seen Azure AI Foundry, okay, so we talked about this. We did a little bit of agent stuff, right? I'm building a new demo for some AI tours that are coming up here in a little bit, and next year. And by next year, like Microsoft's fiscal year ends like this week. So it's like almost New Year's for us. So let's talk about the playgrounds here. And we have an images playground. Okay. So if you haven't seen GPT image 1, this is the playground for GPT image 1. And you can like, I don't know, generate. I just clicked on the thing, right? So what this does, GPT image 1, is it just basically generates images, but it does a little bit more than that. And I want folks to have a sense for what that looks like. So while it's getting it up, let me show you the code I have that I wanted to show you today is up. Bibble. And by the way, Shah asked about, do you use AI tools? Yeah, you see all this cool documentation. I didn't write a single word of it, but I read every word of it to make sure it was right. This is wrong. I guess I did not read. Oh, no, this is right. This is the video. Yeah, this is right. It's pretty cool. Like it wrote all of this for me. I can show you. There was an let's do a closed issue here. I said, can you create a descriptive README for this project? Please include detailed descriptions of all major code pieces so folks can get a clean sense of what the project does. And I assigned it to Copilot. And it did it. Here is the commit. Right, it wrote all of this, which was really cool. Here's the files that it changed to, because it also It also, without me asking, added documentation for the functions. Okay, let's see if the image was made. There you go. So here is the, wow, that's just highly specific. A highly detailed 3D rendered version of it. So that GPT, and you're looking at this, you're like, well, okay, that's cool. I like to think of GPT Image 1 as a place to, and we'll have Tasmika come and explain this stuff to us later. But I like to think of GPT Image 1 as a way to spitball creative stuff, because I'm not creative at all. So in this code, you're going to see in the design, there's a couple of functions. So the first function is, let's go here. The first function is generate edit image. So this one is a different one, right? Because what you just saw. Okay, so here, let me whiteboard this here, because blackboard this here. So let me turn this on, because I want you to understand. Well, it took me a bit to understand this. So boop, boop. Okay. So there's a couple of phases. So phase one with image stuff. Phase one. Think of this as the generate ideas. Think of phase two as once you have, like, this is just raw ideas. Think of this as a combo of ideas. And then think of phase three as a zoom to details. That's a 3-step process that I see with GPT image edit. GPT image 1. Right? So generate ideas is like this. It's like you have an idea and you just like ask it questions and then you do it, right? That's what this is. Like, you can generate. But then let's just say there's like 2 or 3 that you really like and you want to sort of combine them, right? That would be phase 2, combo of ideas. And then let's just say now you have the right combination of ideas, but there's a certain part of the image that you really want to like perfect. Okay, so that's it. Think of those 3 steps. So what I just showed you here is I don't know, sad panda eating a burrito on the boardwalk. Boardwalk. So what we're doing here is we're generating an image, and then we might generate like, we might change the text a little bit to make a better one. And then we might, once we see that, we might change it. And then once you do that a bunch, you're like, okay, I really like these 2. Like, here's a, like for example, like, what's in this burrito? Like, this is no wonder he's sad. Or she, I don't know. I don't want to guess, but right, you see what I'm saying? So we could do that. We could take this. I wonder if I could copy. Did it copy the image or the text? Oh, prompt copy. Good. Eating a burrito. That's probably why. Gosh, my earpiece keeps falling out. We'll say a carne asada burrito. A carne asada burrito. Boop. Notice it now, like, you see how we're like ideating here, variations on a theme, but it's the whole picture now that we're working with. So once you have a bunch of images that you like, right? See, it's kind of similar. Once you start making a bunch of them, then you can like say there's like, I want these 2 put together. That's where the next phase of let me close this. That's where the next phase comes in. So here's a function that takes a description, a single image, and asks to make a variation on that, or a list of images to do that. So here's an example of an image inspiration. I'm gonna load everything from here. This is I love Santa Monica. So this is Santa Monica, and this is the pier, right? And so what I want to do is I want to take this function. I'm going to run this. I'm going to take every single image in there. I'm going to give it a prompt. I'm going to pass it into this function, and then get the result. So now instead of like generating an image, I'm giving it these two images here. Let me just split right. Close this. Split right. Split down. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm saying, instead of making an image from scratch, use these two images and this prompt to do the thing. So let's go to image edit with inspiration. And by the way, the code it's on GitHub. Bibble. Another question is, how well does it do with adding text? I wouldn't trust it. It's pretty good, but I don't trust things that I can't validate every time. So here it is, a GPT image 1. So let's do the image 1, and then let me get it going, and then we'll walk through the code ourselves. So we'll run this here. It's running it. Let's make sure it gets started here. Beep 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 boop 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 beep 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 beep, and then it'll tell us what image it generated. Is it running? Yeah, I think it's running. It's running. It just takes a little bit of time. Okay, so here is the edit image with inspiration. Notice that this is the prompt, the description. I'm taking every image in the images directory, Peer and Santa Monica, and I am putting it into a base 64 encoding. Base 64 encoding. Then what I'm doing is I'm passing in the description and the collection of images into GPT image edit. So let's go to that. And what this does is this loads up the endpoint, It starts a new client session with whatever. And then this one's interesting because the GPT image 1 uses it uses multi-part form data. Oh, someone messaged me. Multi-part form data. Notice that, like, if it's a list of images, I just add it. Add it as like a field in the thing. By the way, this code is all the code is uploaded, so you can look at it. And then I add the prompt and the quality and size and quality. I kind of just did it. And then once I do that, I post it, and then I get a response. And then once I get a response, I just call save image, and save image just saves. So it's A's. It looks like the image it generated was A05589. A0. This one. Very good. So that's the image it generated. Do you see that? Like, it really did take the inspiration from here. I'll move this over. It really did take inspiration from the Santa Monica Pier and the thing, right? That's phase 2. Do you see that? Phase 2, where you have some images that you've maybe, like, this is like, for me, spitballing creative. Now, you might skip phase 1 and you might be like, I just need to make sure I have a good combination of these images, and it will do that too. But I did more than that, right? As you can see right here. So, by the way, I'd love to see what your reactions to this are. But notice it, like, it literally, like, this, it's pretty clear. This building here clearly inspired this building here. I mean, there's no question. Look at it. And this thing right here clearly inspired this thing right here. You can literally see the. So that's phase 2, where you're like, hey, generate an image, but use these to start with, and that's an important bit, right? That's an important bit. So that's phase 2. That's if like you're starting from scratch, right? Like you're creative from scratch. Why is this not filling? Okay. Phase 1, generate ideas. That's just generate a bunch of image. combo of ideas, which is like you have a bunch of pictures that you give it, and you're like, use these together and put them together. Oh, I just got a little sleepiness. And then the last one is like, hey, let's zoom into details. By the way, someone asked again if we used AI to. Yeah, I didn't write this. It just started typing and it finished it for me. But yeah, notice that like that's cool. And this isn't fake. Like I literally ran it. You could see it, and the code's right here. Right, you can see all of it. Oh wow, thanks AI for writing all the docs. So let's go back to Bibble. You can see it all right here, right? It says how to do it, blah, 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 video generation, and then image editing. There you go. Optional mask. See that? I mean, it's pretty good. Yeah, like it wrote this thing down for me, which is super nice. So you can go look at this. It's really nice. Like I use AI to write all this stuff. Yeah. So okay. So that's the second thing. So that's phase 2 approach. Remember, phase 1 is just spitballing images. Phase 2 is putting images together. Phase 3 is specific editing. So it turns out that you can supply images as well as a mask. A mask means that you give it an image, but then you alpha channel out everything, and that mask tells GPT image 1 where it can edit. So here's a scene. Here's a scene. So let's close this because I want to show you. Here's a scene. We'll split right here. Here's a scene, and what I want to do is I want to edit. I want to keep the framing, right? And so someone asked about the text, right? So here it is. How well does someone? Okay, I guess. But I'm going to tell it, use this image to generate something, but only edit inside of the mask and outside of it where appropriate, where if it makes sense. Okay. So that's what this is. So let's go to design here. We'll move this over. And now this is image edit with mask. Notice that I'm taking the scene, I'm taking the mask, and then I'm GPT image editing again. Let me start this so that like I can explain the code. That way it finishes. Sorry, I just pulled my earpiece out. And let's run this. Okay, so now we're doing the edit with mask here. Okay, so let's go to the edit with mask here. Notice that I'm asking for a contemplative person in a serene setting, surrounded by nature, contemplating the mysteries of the universe. That's deep, but only in this box. So let's go here. Notice that the generate edit image has a mask. And so what I do is that if there's a mask, I add the mask field. So let's split right and then split down. And then we'll put this one here so you can see what happens. So that's the only difference between this call and the other, is that this one has a mask. And this is important because it allows you to, again, go into the details once you've put together something. I don't know if anyone's ever explained it this way. I don't know. We should clip this out and like make it a show, like a single episode. So it looks like we got 7A73. There it is. Notice that the text is perfect. And why is the text perfect? Because I told it not to touch it. And you're looking at this, well, why is the mountain? There's a mountain here, but not here. Because I told it can edit that bit. Right? Holy cow, we are out of time. We'll put our walk-off music here. So there you go. That's GPT Image 1 in a nutshell. There's a phase 1 generate ideas where it's just like spitball text to image. There is a text with images that you give it to put together some stuff. And then there's a masking where you can mask the part of the image that can be edited. And that's the magic of GPT Image 1. Hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, and I don't know why people don't explain this. I don't know, I guess. Yeah, that's what we're here for at the AI show, to help people out. All right, next time on the AI show, we have a fine set of people coming. AI app templates in Azure AI Foundry with Varun Dua and Mark Taylor. And then we'll have Azure AI Content Understanding build follow-up with Vinod Kirpad. We had him on before. A delightful human being. Okay, let's see what people thought. Great show. Thank you, Paolo. It is cool. Thanks, Veronica, as always. By the way, just to make sure everyone gets a link to the code, I'll put this up one more time. I forgot to do that. Just so you can see that like all this stuff is real for realsies. Now with AI generated, maybe I'll write maybe we can like write an entire app that promotes that kind of workflow. We'll call it Bibble AI or something. And we'll make it agentic. Why not? So github.com/Seth Juarez. Bibble. Okay, so just make sure you can look at all. That's that code I just ran. I also have in there a Sora thing. Oh, yeah, it's right here. This is a video thing. This one's not as, but it generates images too, which is great. So you can totally take a look at that code. Alrighty. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. We know your time is precious, and so we are grateful for any time you spend with us. Again, thank you so much for spending some time with us. This has been another episode of the AI Show Live. We're glad you're here, and hopefully we'll see you next time on the AI Show next week. Thank you so much, and we'll see you then.